Hello, hello, hello. Sorry for the delay. I was clicking on the little video stuff and everything is supposed to happen, and it didn't. So I had to go back and forth a few times before it actually took. So I'm here. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to Joe Daddy's Garage. It is Monday, December 19th, 2022, and we have some cold weather coming our way. I don't know if I'm sure most of you have been keeping up with the weather. We're all concerned with what it does, right? Cold and snow and all that stuff. And apparently, what has happened is a cold front from Siberia has snuck its way between or through the jet stream. And so this mass of frigid air coming from Siberia is going to come across the United States and bring our temperatures way down, way down. I'm hoping everybody is prepared for this because it's going to be one of the coldest years we've had on record in quite some time, or at least Christmas time, this time of year. So as I was checking the weather app for our area, and I think Roger had posted something on this. Friday we're going to have a low of 14. Saturday a low of 11, Sunday a low of 15, and Monday a low of 17, and then it's going to warm up slightly from there. And the highs are only going to be around 30 degrees. So it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. As you can see, I already have my blue insulating wall up on the garage door. I'm going to try to keep as much heat in here as I can, and I can't rely on the heat pump or the mini split to be able to keep up with the cold temperatures without kicking into, I guess, emergency mode. Along with that, I actually have a fan up in the trusses that is a little electric fan that operates remotely, and it helps blow the air around. So trying to do what I can to keep it warmer in here. But welcome to the live stream. As I did post the subject matter, what do you want for Christmas? That's the question that everybody gets asked every year. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? So I thought I would ask and see what you said and what your responses may be. I will say that my back is, it's not 100% by any means. I'm probably at 60 or 70%. I have been visiting the chiropractor, getting adjustments made, soaking in hot tub or the tub with Epsom salts and all that sort of thing, and stretching. And some days it feels a little better, and some days it feels a little worse. Along with that, the big thing is this tooth over here, left side, getting it pulled tomorrow. Yay! So that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Okay, now that that's all settled out, let's see who's here. And the first one in was here early, Rick. He was here at 5:27. So Rick Gain, thank you for being here, Rick. Steve's Money Pit checking in. Hope you are healed. I wish I was. But I'm not. And he says, hello, anyone home? Good show tonight. Let's hope so. Glad you're here, Steve. You were here early, too. That's cool. Rick says, for Christmas, I'd like a garage big enough to work more than comfortably in with a lift. I have basically that, but I would like to have something twice this size, for sure. It does get cramped in here, especially when you've got stuff like this. I mean, literally right behind me is the roll bar for the Bronco. So, yeah, everything takes up space. Terry Keithley, Merry Christmas, everyone. Please hit the thumbs up and like button for Barry. Thank you kindly. Thank you, Terry. Glad you're here. Rick Stevenson, probably won't make it tonight. Busy night at work. Well, work is kind of important. So, make the money when you can. Glad you checked in. Steve Grimes. Hello, everyone from cold and icy Central PA. Yeah, I know it's going to be hitting up there hard. I know it is, but I'm glad you're here anyway. Wild Bill. Merry Christmas from warm Arizona. Okay, well, thanks, Wild Bill. I guess parts of it get cold, though, right? Has to, when you think. Anyway, glad you're here, Wild Bill. Troy Justit. Hey, Barry and gang, how's my Georgia brother feeling? We're heading for an unseasonable cold snap this weekend. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So be prepared as much as you can be. I even thought about because I know the mini split can't handle this temperature. I thought about fueling up the kerosene heater and just having it in here, to keep the temperature as moderate as I can. I don't want that thing kicking into emergency mode because then you just see your meter spinning like crazy. So trying to avoid that. Donnie Williams got a comp roller cam lifters rockers coming. Thanks for the recommendation and the chat. Okay. So you have a Christmas gift coming, or Christmas present coming. Awesome. Robert just made it in time and finished my McDonald's fries. Okay. Glad you're here, Robert. And Robert says 9 degrees for the low here Thursday night. Yeah. Whee! Fun. Dawn checking in. Hello all from soon to be snowing PDX. Yeah. I'm sure you'll be getting plenty of snow out that way. Glad you're here. And Roger checking in from next door. Glad you're here, Raj. Let's see. Bob. Good evening all from soon to be freezer, Oklahoma. Sub-zero temps and wind chills for Thursday. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm telling you, this is going to be, it's going to be brutal. From what they're saying, 3 days or at least 3 days of this brutal cold weather. I could say that I'm glad I've never had the urge to visit Siberia. Glad you're here, Bob. Let's see. Roger says I just checked our low temperatures to be 14 degrees Thursday night. Yep. Father, son, my country back. Amen. I agree with that. Kelly Apple, come on. It's not winter until you're in the negative 20s. Okay. I'll beg to differ. Live in Georgia for a while and then see what cold feels like whenever it gets into the 20s, even here, the positive 20s. It's pretty rough. So glad you're here, Kelly. Brian checking in. Hey, Barry and gang. Hope everyone's staying warm. Turned 59 yesterday, but I really don't feel any older. Thank goodness. Well, that's a positive. I hope. Because you're not saying you don't feel any younger either. So, we got to kind of read between the lines on that, I guess, right? Glad you're here. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I'm not going to sing. That's all you get. Crash Rider, good evening and Merry Christmas to Joe Daddy, all the viewers. Homemade vegetable soup, cheese and crackers while enjoying Joe Daddy. Please hit the like button. Yes. Homemade vegetable soup. That sounds really good. Really good. I would go for some of that. Wild Bill says, evening, guys. And Ray Buckman, good evening, Barry and all. Hope everyone is doing well. Merry Christmas to you all. Thank you, Ray. Same to you. Dave Tyson, happy holidays from 6 above, I guess, Minnesota. I'm guessing. M-I-N-N, Minnesota. That's all it could be, right? Glad you're here. Dawn, what do I want? World peace. Besides that, maybe done with Betsy. Okay, that's a good one. I'm with you on that. Wild Bill, what is your ideal garage size? 2,500 square feet. Well, I can tell you the entire footprint of my shop, paint booth, and this space, everything is 1,200 square feet. 2,500 would be pretty awesome. Double the size of this, plus 100 square feet. I would go for that. Yeah, sure. But probably, if I had a barn that was the one I looked at a while ago was 40 by 80, 3,200 square feet, I guess. That would be really, really, really nice. You could put an upstairs to it, all that. Yeah. But 2,500, that's a good number. Robert says, for Christmas, I would take a trip away instead of presents. I'm with you on that. That's pretty good. Kelly Apple, no matter how big you build it, you'll just fill it up. Ask me how. I know. I get it. Robert, the ideal shop size is an old Kmart or Walmart building that add on as you run out of space. I like that. Terry Keithley, serious note. I want for Christmas the result of my wife's MRI tomorrow to be negative. Let's hope it is. Let's hope it is. I'm not sure what the odds are, but I'm hoping the odds are in your favor. Yes. Troy, all I want for Christmas is to finish my car as fast as those guys on TV. Yeah. Yeah, that's all it is. You just click, click, click. They're done, right? Now, Troy, I'm going to bring up a little subject matter. You had asked me a question on one of my videos, and I think you were asking for a measurement, frame rails in the front, a height difference, and you said that yours was like an eighth of an inch off. I'm going to say if you're an eighth of an inch, you're good. You're good. I don't think you'll ever see any difference in moving that around. I really don't. Because the reality is, the way I look at it is it really an eighth or is it a 16th? Because you move this one up a 16th and this one down a 16th, and you're back to zero. So, anyway, I think you're good with the eighth inch. Jack says, hi, Barry, from a frosty New Jersey. Glad you're here, Jack. Ray Buckman, going to be negative 14 on Thursday. It's going to be really cold. 2 nights of negative temps. Yeah. Yeah, nothing feels good about any of that. Ed McConaughey, I'm guessing? McConaughey? Or no, not Ed. EJ. Edge. Yeah, EJ. EJ McConaughey. That's my guess. Good evening, everyone from Carrollton, Georgia. Glad you're here, EJ. Have a bell. Free of charge. Battery burnout. Hey, Barry. John here. Haven't been around for the live chats recently, but have been following your videos. Awesome. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Rusty's Mustang Garage. Hello, just checking in for a few. Okay, glad you're here, Rusty. And Shane checking in. All I want for Christmas is to enjoy watching my granddaughters open gifts from their Mimi and Pap Pap. That's good enough. I'm good with that too. Well, my grandkids. It might be kind of weird if I'm watching your grandkids open presents. So let's just focus on. I'll do my grandkids. How about that? Rusty's Mustang Garage. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. Let's see. John moved to East Tennessee. Thought I would be getting away from the cold Northeast. Well, you probably did for the most part, but I wouldn't mind living in Tennessee. Tennessee is beautiful. Robert, last year it was 82 degrees on Christmas, and the 27th we went to the go-kart track for my birthday. Not doing that this year. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Let me have some coffee. Okay. Brian, my shop is only 20 by 22. It's big enough for my project until I need to work on something else. But added bonus, I don't spend money on more tools as there isn't any room. Makes sense. Wild Bill, my buddy, built a 70 by 35 and it's perfect. Easy 4 projects at a time. Yeah. I'd say you'd probably get more than 4 in there. But yeah, that's a great size. Ray Buckman says, amen, Terry. Car guy Troy. That's me. Actually, I'm the frame rail guy. Oh, sorry. I knew I knew there was a Troy in there. Sorry. Troy. You get it. You can see where I cross wires there. So, hope that answers your question. Troy, that was the other Troy, but thanks. Okay, yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry. Donnie Williams, any thoughts on T5 trans conversion? Yeah, I like it. It's a good idea. If you go look at Harvey's channel, it escapes me at the moment. I think he has some stuff on there, but there are other people out there that have done it. I know Harvey has Rallycat Garage. I think it's right. Rallycat Garage. He has some information on that. Not highly detailed stuff, but covering what it takes to put one in somewhat. So yeah, I think it's a great thing. Good question. Nathan Murdoch. Hi. Do new 65 Mustang frame rails typically leave a gap between the fender apron on firewall? Well, that's a good question. Are you replacing the firewall? That's probably the main question. Have Have you is the firewall original? And also, have you done some measuring to determine that the apron is, or the frame rail is the same length and in the same location? What I have run into is a short. I actually have run into that, but I've built the whole thing, right? So I've built the whole car, put in the firewall and all those pieces, and the apron ended up just a little bit short, and I did have to dolly it back a little with the hammer to try to make it make contact. So it's not that big a concern, but it is possible that it could be just a hair short. But make sure you measure everything to where it was, or it all compares. Let's see. Junker Clunkers. Hello, sir. Starting my 6.6 Mustang floor and rear frame rails this week. Follow my process on my channel. Happy holidays. Yep. Happy holidays to you as well. Good luck with the Mustang project. Desert Rat 2000. Hey, I was just going to watch a video on the gasser and saw you live. So, hi. Well, hi. Glad you're here. Yeah, I don't have any updates on the gasser. I don't know where he's at on that, what he's gotten done, or I don't know. So I can't offer any more on that at the moment. Brian's talking to Don. Says he's doing a T5 in his Fairlane. Look up Modern Driveline in Idaho. Sorry. They had every part I needed and were very helpful on the phone. I was always able to get to talk to a person. Always able to talk to a person. So thank you, Brian. Good information. John, I bought the place in Tennessee for the garage. 1,800 square foot. It came, bonus, it came with a house. Well, yeah, that's a nice size. And there's Harvey checking in. Rally Cat Garage. Glad you're here, Harvey. Bob Knoll. Good evening, everyone. Everybody. Merry Christmas. Always good in Detroit. Waiting on snow. It's coming. It's coming. Car Guy Troy. I'd love a 30 by 40 shop out back. Not this Christmas, but hopefully sooner than later. Yeah, 30 by 40. That's a good size. I mean, that's 1,200 square feet. I know mine being is 24 wide. The main shop is 24 by 36, and then the addition is 14 by 26, or 14 by 24. Yeah. So it ends up being 1,200 square feet. And Harvey says, yes, Rally Cat Garage. Yep. Wild Bill, I see a blast cabinet in the corner. Can you please tell me what media you are using in it? Thanks. You can see my blast cabinet? How can you see the blast cabinet? Blast cabinet's over here behind the Bronco. I was using, what was it? I can't remember the name of it. It was something I bought from Harbor Freight. The blast cabinet is from Harbor Freight, and it was the, let me go look real quick. See if I can't come up with an answer for you. Because I know I've used it several times with this. I can't get to it. I can't get to it right now. But it was a black media that they had at Harbor Freight is what I ended up using. So, sorry. Can't give you an answer at the moment. Junker Clunkers, I've got a T5 going in mine. Once it's ready. Okay, sorry. Nathan, I'm doing what you did on the Brooklyn Pony from the floor pan up. Awesome. That'll be good. Hope you're getting lots of information off of that. Tommy, Birmingham checking in. Merry Christmas to all. Busted Knuckle Garage. Glad you're here, Tommy. Junker, I had to get a conversion for the T5 to fit my 289. Okay. And Harvey, I use a Mustang Steve cable clutch conversion kit for the T5 conversion, modern driveline crossmember. Thank you, Harvey. Robert, you had coal slag in your cabinet. I used crushed glass. Okay. So I knew it was a black material, but coal slag is what I used in the cabinet. And Wild Bill says Black Beauty, maybe. I don't remember, honestly. John, right? So I have a paint question. I've been rebuilding my 72 Stang, and I just painted the jambs. I know current temps are not helpful, but I assume your paint is urethane. How long between coats? Usually, um, like 15 minutes. There. I can tell you this. I have like the MSDS. Let me just grab mine real quick. I keep a file on hand. This is all my data. I say MSDS. It's a data sheet book that I have that relates to PPG products, right? So I've got stuff on epoxy primers, gun pressures, all that sort of stuff. And there's one on urethane sealers, acrylic sealer, base coat. Basically, now this may vary depending on how the temperatures, obviously. But for using shop line base coat, between coats, 5 to 10 minutes at 70 degrees. Air dry, you can tape it in 45 minutes, and you can clear coat it in 30 minutes minimum, 24 hours max. So, depending on the temperatures, that's what you're looking at. So, hope that helps. And I haven't painted in over 10 years, and it was lacquer. Yeah, I've never sprayed lacquer, so I can't help you with that sort of stuff. Shopkin Industries, hey, you got a new project since last time I dropped in. Yeah, it's the Bronco. Not really a build. I'm not building it. I'm going to be painting it. And so the process has started, getting it apart. I've got to go over some of the work that was done to it. I'm not going to get crazy. Okay, I'm not going to get crazy. I'm saying that. I'm not going to get crazy. But I have to fix some things that aren't quite right. And, these other places that build stuff, they probably just do what they do. And then people like me do what I do. And sometimes there are two different levels of that. So I found a few things that I don't like that I'll have to address. But yeah, that's coming up. At this point, once I address those small things, in fact, I have a picture. I was having a discussion with the owner. Since you brought it up, perfect timing. This is a brand new tub, whole thing. The underside has been sprayed with some sort of product called Shield or something. It's like a undercoating or bedliner type material or something. And what confused me on some of this is they didn't do the inside or the outside of what would be the inner fenders. Let's put it that way. Did everything underneath, but this area didn't get anything on it. And I just didn't like that. And I didn't think it was deserving of paint because it's going to have dirt and junk flying up in there. So I started looking it over, and I really didn't like the way the engine bay was set up because it's all new metal in there. But if I were to paint it, it would be very difficult because the inner fender structure, the doghouse shape, has a gap between it and the firewall. And so when you try to spray down in between there, very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. So I talked to the owner and I said, hey, let's look this over a little more. The guys who undercoated it, it's kind of hard to point to it, but there's a body or a bend line right about there going up the firewall, and they put a stop at that, and then everything else up on top was unfinished. So we talked about it, and we came to the conclusion that it's going to look like this. Now, this is my friend that has the Bronco. This is his buddy's Bronco, and you can see that the only part that's body color is the fenders and the top portion of the firewall, and of course the hood and all that. So everything else underneath is going to be sprayed with undercoating. I ordered some U-pole stuff. It should be coming here in the next week, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So that'll take care of that. And it's going to help a lot because I was really concerned with trying to get paint down in there. When you think about it, climbing up and painting down inside an engine bay like that, very, very difficult. I'd rather do the undercoating type material, one and done. Spray it, let it cure, mask everything off, and just walk away from it. And then work on the paint. So, let's see. James Self. Hi, are you going to put a Cody engine in the Bronco behind you? No, it's going to have a 302 in it, but I'm not doing it. All I'm doing is the paint work. Yeah. And, I know a lot of people are doing the Coyote swap, and it's a cool thing. It is. I mean, it's probably a great engine and all that. I don't know that I really want to do a Coyote swap. There's a lot of modification you have to make it all work. And again, it looks cool, but for the most part, like my cars, I'm just driving them around. I'm not out doing racing or anything crazy with them. So I'm just happy to have a 302 in it, just drive it around and enjoy it. But I mean, there's a lot of people that are doing that sort of stuff, and I get it. Just probably not something I would really want to do. I don't know if I gave you a bell, James. Sorry. Michael Pagliarini. Hello, all. Late to the party. Was working on my floor pans. Well, you get a couple of bells for working on the floor pans. Car Guy Troy, I'm really liking the frame jig trailer project. Love that sort of out of the box type stuff. Are you done with it or still on it? I could say that I'm done with it. I could, but there's more that I want to do. Where the floor supports come forward, they do have jig holes in them, so I want to create a bridge for those locations. Something I can unbolt and get out of the way, but I want to create a bridge and locate those as well. And that's the last thing I need to do. That'll put everything that I can think of in place using what I have. So it's coming along nice. It is. It's going to be pretty cool once I get everything cleaned up and get some paint on it and all that stuff. There's I have set the car, let the lift down and had it sitting on it. But I did not, I guess what I'm trying to get to is I was experimenting. So I set the car down on it, but the jacks, all four jacks are holding it up, and the tires for the trailer are not touching the ground. And if you take it and you get aggressive with it, you can shake it and it'll wiggle around some, right? But ideally what I want to do is lower it down enough to where the tires for the springs or the axle for the trailer are actually making contact and taking some of that load. And then the jacks will act more as a stabilizer. Instead of carrying the whole load, it'll help stabilize the whole thing. So I think it's going to be great. Once I get everything completely where I want it, I think it's going to be great. So glad you like it. Jeff, awesome, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. Glad you're here. Hope all is well with you and yours. For sure. Let's see. Shopcat. She'll be a beauty when you're done, that's for sure. I sure hope so. I sure hope so. John, that was very helpful. Thanks. Paint laid like glass, but did get some runs. I can heat the garage to 70, but it would take days for the metal warm up. Springtime, I guess. Thanks again. Yeah, it'll be. And whenever you go to do that, if you've already sprayed the jams and you need to get temperatures up and all that, you're gonna have to just scuff those, because after 24 hours, you need to scuff those jams again, and then just go back with paint. You don't want to try to spray on top of that. You want to make sure you have it scuffed. Shopcat, yeah, I would not be sad to have an engine bay like that. That's beautiful. Yeah, I agree. It looks fantastic. Dave Conville checking in. Glad you're here, Dave. Hope all is well. Steve Grimes, tip, shake that Raptor liner and shake some more. Yeah, it's the, I don't know, I guess it is Raptor liner. Yeah, that's what I'm going to use. I ordered a kit that came with the gun and everything. I think it comes with 4, I guess, quarts. which should be more, well, plenty to take care of all that. So, yeah, I'll shake it, shake, 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 shake. Thanks, Steve. Brian, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I don't want any engine that I don't have the option of running points in, not in today's atmosphere. I pretty much agree with that. Points, it's hard to beat being able to fix something on the side of the road just by putting a set of points in it. Now, it could be other problems, but points are pretty dependable when they're working right. John, instead of undercoating the engine bay, how about bed liner, bulletproof? Yeah, I think that's kind of what the Raptor liner is what I'll be using from U-Pole. I think that's pretty much what it is. But yeah, that's the idea. It's not going to be like a spray tar type of thing. No, it's going to be a cured product to where it's got you mix it together. So it's a 2-part mix. And I'm going to spray everything with adhesion promoter, so it helps it bite in. Yeah. But thank you for that. Bob Shoemaker, I saw some pics of another frame jig this week, which was real similar to yours, but he had its supports at the pinch welds on both sides. Yeah, I thought about doing that. I guess if I were to... I am considering the idea of being able to build a whole car on it. And it would not hurt for me to make some sort of jig system that I can add to that. Because let's say I was going to build my own fastback. I mean, completely build a car from scratch. You need to have something to locate those side panels. I did see another jig company. They were building the Eleanor things, and they had that exact setup. They had like a kind of a hook deal that they could just set the side on, and that located the panel for the side of the car. Not a bad idea. And it wouldn't take much for me to create that. So I have considered that, and I probably should go ahead and do it. So I have it, in my toolbox of stuff. Of was it like Batman has a tool belt with all the little gadgets and gizmos? That's what I need. I need a whole bunch of gizmos and gadgets to finish out the frame jig. But good idea, Bob. Dave, Merry Christmas, Barry. Thanks for doing this show every week. Well, thanks, Dave. I appreciate that. I do. Give you another little bell. Dawn, painting Betsy's fender, open door to vent the overspray. As soon as that 35 degrees air hit, the paint started sagging, closed it up fast. Ooh, yeah, it's rough whenever the temperatures are low. That's partly why, at this point, I wish I was able to. I wish my back hadn't been hurting for like 2 weeks, because the weather was pretty good. I could have got a lot more done, but when you can't use your back, you're stuck. You can't force yourself into these situations, and I've just been kind of doing little things to get stuff, moving and keep it moving. Dave Conville, awesome, man. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Wait a minute. Did you do 2 super stickers? You did 2 separate ones? Man. You even get a round of applause. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you. That's fantastic. John, when I get to paint, I was going to back roll mask the jams to prevent spraying through the seams. What's your feelings on that? Okay, whenever I do, Brian, hold on. Awesome, man. Fantastic. Let me get back to battery burnout. When I do get to paint, I was going to back roll mask the jams to prevent spray through the seams. What's your feelings on that? Okay. If you go look at the videos that I've done painting Jade, painting Mystique, and maybe even the light blue Mustang, what I like to do is light color in the jambs. Now this is so I don't have any tape lines, no seams, right? So I do the jambs, I do the jam on the door, and then I put everything together. Basically, like you can see what I do in the videos. So I'll jam like the kick panel, the A pillar, the door opening, all that stuff. I'll do the jam or spray the ends of the tail panels, the fenders, all those things, and then I put the accessories on, the extensions, and I have spacers and all that stuff. It's all in the Jade series in particular. But what happens is I come back and I spray color over the whole car, right? Now if anything oversprays into those jams, it's color. It's what I want anyway. In fact, I'll open the doors and I'll even throw some more in there just to make sure it all kind of works together. Once that happens, then I do my clear coat. I leave the doors on, leave the fenders on, clear coat inside the doors, inside the, everything, all at the same time, and then there's no tape lines. Now, what we used to do a lot at the body shop, if you were going to do let's say you wanted to do the jams, you could base those, and you could clear coat them, and then they use the foam. You can tape them off if you want to, but the problem with taping them off is you can still get stuff floating around in there, right? But if you use the masking foam, I have some here. Hold on a second. I don't know if you've seen this before. I know I've shown it in other videos, but this stuff, this is 3M. In this case, the part number is 06297, and the dimensions on this one are 13 millimeter, or basically half an inch by 54 yards. And the way this works is it has this roll of foam, and this foam, pull out a piece of it. This foam you can put in the gap. It's got a sticky side to it. So you can stick it to the jam, and then when you shut the door, it closes against it. Kind of hard to show you that, but it closes against it. So if you were to have it in the jam, and then when you shut the door, it creates this little block. So I use this stuff anytime I've got to do something like that. It works really well. It works really well. And just so you know, this stuff will go bad. Like over time, this stuff will deteriorate. So you got to use it. It takes years, but anyway. So there's some options for you as far as how you want to deal with the jams and all that. So hope that helps. Where are we at here? Hold on a second. Leonard, missed last Monday's, was at the Grand Canyon for bucket list. How's everyone doing tonight? Well, that's awesome. That's on my bucket list. See the Grand Canyon. I definitely want to see that happen. Dave says yes too. I couldn't get it on one for some reason. Thanks, Barry. Awesome, man. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. That helps. Everything helps. Brian, I'm still considering what to do under the Fairlane. Can you apply that Raptor liner over bare metal, or do you need a primer first? The kit that I got was on Amazon, and it highlighted there's a secondary product you can get that is a adhesion promoter. So I don't have it in my hand, so I can't say that you could go to bare metal, but I am going to bare metal essentially. But I'm gonna probably scuff it, clean it, make sure there shouldn't be any like fingerprints or anything like that. Clean all of it, mask it, spray it with the adhesion promoter. And that's just a rattle can. Spray that on, let it do its thing, and then come back with the U-pole Raptor liner and just put it on. So I can't. I'd have to have. I don't have the cans in front of me to say yes. It will go straight to bare metal. So it should though. I don't see why it wouldn't. Car Guy Troy, do you put any sort of paint coating behind the rear quarters, wheelhouses, etc. before you install them, or just leave the e-coat? Typically, I don't mess with those areas much. I don't know that there's any advantage to it. Like when I did Jade, I put new quarters on, and all I did after I put everything together, I scuffed it with some Scotch-Brite, cleaned it, and then as I was painting, I just sprayed some in there. I didn't worry about putting clear coat on it. I just blew color in there just to make it overlap, to kind of blend all that in. And it works fine. It works fine. John, that helped a lot. I like the foam idea. Yeah. And this, I know they sell it. Like I get mine at usually PPG store. Any paint supply is going to have this stuff. I may even have it listed on my Amazon page. I may have. I don't know. I put so much stuff on there. I don't know for sure. But yeah, that's really good stuff. And they make different sizes too. Keep that in mind. Bob Knoll, the Grand Canyon is definitely a spot to hit. Early in the morning or right before dark. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. I know it's on my list of things I need to see. Dawn, battery, yeah, me too. That's what I'll do with Betsy. Yep. Now, since there's 54 of you here, which is awesome. I have a. Wait a minute. Oh. Simone just showed up. Hi, Barry. Are you better? Better is relative. Yeah, in some ways I am. In some ways I'm not. But I'm not 100%. Working on it. And Simone says, hi, everyone. Glad you're here, Simone. Robert says, I sandblasted on my quarters and epoxy primed, then covered the steel in sound deadening. Could have left it alone, but really I was in there. So, yeah, that works. And Leonard says, we caught snow in the Grand Canyon and on the train ride there. Oh, wow. That's cool. That is cool. Roger says, hi, Simone. Okay. I have a couple things. I'm trying to find a part. Now, Robert has already looked in his area, and I'm trying to find this part for my daughter's Kia. I've looked online. They are available. If you buy a new one from Kia, they're like $1,600. This is a ABS pump. So I'm going to show you the picture of what I'm looking for. That's the part number, M430. And there's a difference between the two-wheel drive, the all-wheel drive, what options they have. So my understanding is it has to be that exact number, like the 58920-2E300, and then M430. I did find one on eBay. They want $300 and some for it. I did look at the junkyard, and I'll show you another image. When the one I bought at the junkyard was a different part number, and the connector was different. So this one has this big square block. That's what the yellow area is. So it was funny. My wife suggested I reach out to everybody on here and say, hey, maybe they can find you one. So maybe so. I know I checked at the U-Pull yard. The ones that I pulled there they wouldn't work. And then I went to another junkyard, and they said, oh, the closest ones are in Mississippi and Tennessee. I was like, oh, come on. So just asking, if anybody happens to go to a U-Pull yard or something and see what's there, because if I have to, I'll pay what they're asking for on eBay. But obviously I'd like to find one as cheap as I can. But it's 2007 Kia Sportage 4-cylinder is what that's on. And what happened was she was driving it and she hit the brakes on on a wet section of her parking lot, and the thing freaked out, and the solenoid locked in place, I guess. When I went to pick it up, Roger and I went to pick it up, and it was a little dangerous. I'll say that. We got it moving, couldn't get it up on the trailer quite right, and I ended up cutting the brake line. And what was weird about it, we didn't realize that the right front and the left rear were both locked up. So when I cut the brake hose on the right front, it relieved pressure on both those, and we were able to get it up on the trailer. So when I got it home, I started experimenting, and I did a couple things. I put the brake hose, a new hose on it. I disconnected the battery, thinking, well, maybe if I let it reset, I disconnected for hours, hooked it back up, didn't change a thing. I also disconnected the Canon plug, the main connector on that thing, and didn't matter. I disconnected that. I actually relieved pressure off the brake, the bleeder on the caliper, went to move it again, and it did the same thing. So it's definitely the whole unit that's bad. So I'm going to have to come up with something. And like I said, if I have to buy one, it's whatever, $300, I will. The unfortunate part, too, while I'm working on it, I'm like, what's this liquid showing up on the ground? It was antifreeze. I'm like, oh, great. So now the radiator's bad, which I'm glad it did it here and not with her being an hour north of us, and on the highway or something. I'm glad that it failed in her parking lot at her apartment complex instead of out on the main road somewhere. So those are the good things about it. But unfortunately, you got to fix them. Keep them running. Brian, the reason I ask is I have heard horror stories about certain types brands of undercoating, delaminating, trapping moisture, and causing rust. Yeah, and I think that's probably, well, I don't know for sure. I mean, I know some of the old stuff that they used to spray on cars just trapped whatever was in there and then did what you're saying. In most cases, I think with the new things we're using, if you got new metal and everything's cleaned and prepped properly and you spray it on there, it should lock it all up with the new metal and leave it alone. Should. Robert, I have one other place to look, but it's across town and I haven't had a chance to go there. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. About an hour drive. Okay. Rusty, isn't the Mando brand a Reman house? I have no idea. It's got Hyundai Kia right on it. So like 05 to 08 Kia Sportage, 05 to 08 Hyundai Tucson. So you can see it's got the little H and the little Kia. So I'm assuming that's their regular manufacturer. I don't know. My guess. Yeah, 07, Leonard, 07. Simone, for Christmas, I would like my car to pass the MOT, yearly test for safety. Let's hope so. That would be nice. Leonard, I've got 2 pick and pulls here. I'll check them out and see what they've got. Yeah, and like I said, it's on the, when you look at this, it is on the passenger side inner fender is where that's mounted. And there's really not much in the way. Obviously, the lines have to come off or get cut off and bent, whatever, to keep fluid leaking out. So I was able to get them out at the U-Pull yard. It took me like 20 minutes to get everything loose. And I had to take the water neck off for the washer bottle. I think was the only thing that was really in the way. So, yeah, just let me know if you see something. That would be great. Robert, I'll fly over and convince the inspector to pass it. Oh, over to help out Simone. Shopcat saying hello to a bunch of people. Cool. Nathan, have you ever installed a Mustang 2 front suspension? What are your thoughts? Actually, that's what's in the Brooklyn Pony, the convertible. So yeah, I have. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish all that. So I do like the setup, but if you're looking for an alternative, now with that setup, you're eliminating your shock towers, and I'm assuming it's what you want to do. I don't know. Um, Robert, if you look up the Infernal Craftsman, he just made a video on his CPP suspension kit he bought. I like that a lot. I like that setup a lot. He just posted it recently, a couple days ago, and if you're looking for options, but I have put in the Mustang 2 front suspension, and it makes sense. It does. If you're doing a full brand new build and you want to work with what's there and then modify it, that's great. If you want to keep like the original frame and shock towers, some of these other kits are even better. So have a look at that. Okay, here's something else I wanted to talk about. We talked about the Grand Canyon, going different places around the country, and I've had this idea, and I know I've mentioned it before, but I've had this idea for quite some time. And the idea is that I want to go places, right? It's one thing to work on cars here, do different things, and have people bring me projects and take care of all that stuff. But the difficulty with that is I'm always here, just here. And now we do try to go over, my wife and I try to go over to our camper we have set up over in Alabama. And I've discussed this with her. I've mentioned it probably a year or two ago. I don't remember. Initially my idea was I want to go travel somewhere. Like load up the Suburban, have tools in it, and do kind of like the roadshow things that I've talked about, where I've gone to people's places and I've worked on their car with them, or I've done like an interview with them, or like the 67 GTA that I went up there and kind of evaluated that for him. But I want to be able to go like further and make a road trip out of it. The idea was that I could go somewhere, go to somebody's house, spend a couple days there, help them with their project, get things figured out, or help them put on quarter panels or whatever, and get them moving on their project. And I know my wife was hesitant on that. She's thinking about it like, well, I don't want you going, and she's now stuck here. So I brought it up to her a while ago that what about if I find a camper, a motorhome, like a small Class C motorhome, and we do this together. Like we both go together, tow my little Honda or whatever behind the camper, go somewhere, and find somebody lives in Idaho or whatever, wherever it may be. We travel there. We get to do we could do a vlog session on the travel on the channel, and then go to whoever's house, take the camper to whatever campground or something close by that we could set it up, and then she said she'd be happy to stay at the camper, she said, and then I take my little Honda or whatever and I drive it over and work on cars, right? So I brought this up to her, and she really didn't say anything about it. And then okay, well, we'll just see how it goes. Well, a week or so ago, all of our kids were here, and she was telling them that, yeah, your dad and I are thinking about taking a camper and going him work on cars and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? So I asked her again just the other day. I said, are you on board with this? She's like, yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool. So I'm trying to do pros and cons on all that stuff. And I'm thinking that, it wouldn't even have to be Idaho. It could be Georgia. It could be Florida. It could be Tennessee. It could be North Carolina, whatever. But my thought process is it would be something where we could travel, again, vlog the travel of it, and then do the video or record what we're doing, and then might be gone for a week or two, and then come home. But I would only want to do this over good months of weather. So let's say late spring into mid late fall, I think would be my window. And then from there, stay here and do projects around the shop and just stay home during those months. Now I could also, I could do it to where we could make the trip go 2 weeks and then come back here for 2 weeks or whatever. There's lots of variables to it. Now the conditions are somebody would have to, whoever I go to see, they would have to have obviously materials, tools, air compressor, that sort of thing. I could probably bring one of my welders. Yes, welders give me these welders. One of my welders with me, a gas bottle, welding equipment, whatever, some tools and all that sort of thing. But I think it would be really kind of an interesting project, and I think it would also be good for the channel. People would like to see stuff like that, like not only the working on the cars, but getting there. Any issues. Hopefully, we don't have any issues, but stuff that happens along the way, and places we might stop and do stuff like that. But anyway, I'm kind of excited about the idea. Now the thing is, my thoughts are, I don't need a $50,000 camper. My wife wants something that has like slide outs and all that sort of thing. And I was trying to tell her, well, maybe we should just start with something that's maybe not that expensive and see how it goes. And she's like, oh no, we're going to do it right. I said, okay. So anyway, if you have any thoughts on that later on or whatever, and you want to communicate with me, you can send me an email or something and let me know what you think about it and whether it's a viable thing to do. Pros and cons are fantastic. That helps, and we'll see. We will see. But I think it's a cool thing. I think it'd be really cool. And even to the point where I could even go to maybe other YouTubers, right? Go visit them and just make a trip out of it and just whatever. So I think it'd be really cool. All right, let's get back to where we were. We're talking about the suspension stuff. Rick Gain, I'm more of a purist. I think a classic Mustang is supposed to have shock towers. It's kind of part of the look. I get that. And that's what's really nice about the kit that Robert has bought, because it keeps those towers, but it really improves the suspension underneath. Because if you think about it, you've got to remember now, the cars they built essentially were glorified Falcons, right? Basically, that's all they really were, glorified Falcons. The Falcon was an economy car, so the suspension was cheap. All the stuff underneath wasn't well built for heavy duty work, or performance wise and all that stuff. So you look at this little skinny lower control arm and the strut rod. Yes, it works. Can it be improved upon? Yes, it can. The kit that Robert got, it does that. It keeps the shock towers. You actually use them. They're part of the structure. But you end up with a wide lower control arm and a wide upper control arm that are married together. And then, of course, the shock and the springs and all that stuff. So I'm probably going to be looking at getting one of those kits. If not, I don't know which car will go in. I don't really want to undo Jade and start over on that. So it might be one of the other cars. But I really like the way that kit looks and should perform. Robert says the CPP kit is very nice. The only mod you have to do is remove the brackets for the strut rods, which is fine with me. That's pretty cool. Rick, I tagged you on a post on Facebook. Somebody's looking to pay somebody's expenses to come out and help them work on a Mustang. I did see that, and I gave a like on that. Several people had commented on that same post. So yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you, Rick. John Lennon, I need enough money to buy gifts. Well, that would be nice too. So glad you're here, John. Shane, awesome idea if you can make it worth your while. Yeah, it would have to be worth my while to, I mean, um, the advantage is I would be doing it under, well, I would probably create an LLC specifically for that. And then, the expenses built into it are for the production. So that kind of helps offset when it comes down to tax time. So, Doyle, you're welcome to come to my house anytime. Nashville is 35 miles south. Honky tonking. Yeah, you never know. You never know. Thank you, Doyle. Shane, I'll be ready for you. I will be ready for you to help me put the front clip on my car this coming spring. Well, I'm just saying these are some things that I'm playing around with. Leonard, that would be an awesome opportunity to do. Thank you, Leonard. Appreciate it. Dawn, Wally and I could meet you somewhere during our road trips. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it would give a chance to get around and do these sort of things, and go visit people. I feel like I'm a pretty social person overall. Now, it depends on probably most of the event. There's some things that I may not want to be around or not involved in, but for the most part, I do, especially car stuff. Yeah, I'm all over it. So Robert sent me a picture of that CPP front suspension kit, and that kit is really cool in my opinion. I like that a lot. All heavy duty. He was saying how heavy everything is. I like those control arms. Yeah. Now the one thing I don't see, and I guess I'm okay. So I see what they're doing. They're using the original mount point for the lower control arm as the rearmost mount point on the A arm. Okay. I like that. Yeah. Thank you, Robert. Pull that picture down real quick. Go back to, let's see. Shane says, I would love that. I would love that type of content. It would be awesome so you get someone's project going that is at a standstill. Yeah. I mean, it would be a lot of fun. It would. I think it would. Simone, I must admit I'm not very festive. Can't wait for spring to roll around. Oh yeah, I'm all for spring. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like being boxed up. I would rather be, I'd like the weather to be nice. I can have the doors open, have a breeze coming through, be comfortable. Yeah. I don't like being cold and miserable. Let's see. Simone says, looks nice, Robert. Oh, talking about the kit. EJ, come to Carrollton and help me install a headliner in a 66 coupe. Well, you never know. I don't know when I could, but I do have videos on that. But that's not a bad idea. Carrollton's not too far away. And Robert says, Carrollton isn't far from me. I think he means Carrollton, Georgia. I'm pretty sure he means Carrollton, Georgia. Bob, would that fit a 6M Mustang? And if so, how much is it? They have different kits. I think they're on eBay. You'd have to look up suspension kit. If I remember, I think the kit's like $1,600. I think something like that. And I looked them up, and they have one for the 65 and 6, and then another kit for the 67 and 8. I don't know what the difference is because they're basically the same car. Everything's the same underneath, so I don't know what the difference is. Must be some difference though. So I think Robert may have may chime in. I thought it was on eBay. I don't know. Coffee. So yeah, those are some of the thoughts that I have going through my mind. Let me tell you another little thing I have going on. A story time. Not a junkyard story. we all know this time of year they have Christmas parties, right? And you go to these Christmas parties and they do the gift exchange. I'm sure most of you have probably been involved in that. Everybody brings a gift. In some cases, you have a pile on the left or whatever for the guys and a pile on the right for the girls. And then you all get a number. And the first person goes to the pile, guy or girl, picks up the gift, opens it up. Everybody gets to see it. And then they, once they're done, they have it. They have that gift. The next person comes up and they go, I like that. I want to take that, right? So you can steal it. Well, then they go through the process. You can steal it depending on where you're at 2 or 3 times. And once it's stolen that second or third time, it's frozen. Nobody can steal it again. But as it continues on, each person with the next number picks something, and continues on down the line. So we've done this with groups of friends for years. And the friends that we normally do this with, we're pretty consistent with having regular nice gifts. So the last one we did, like, the girls will end up with blankets or hygiene stuff, like face stuff, whatever all that stuff is, coffees, cups, and gift cards, and all those sort of things. And then, the guys will do, like, might be tools or a gift card from Lowe's or something, or again, coffee. It could be a variety of things. So normally I buy something pretty nice, and I say, here you go. I put it up there, and then everybody fights over it. Then there's the other way you do this, where it's sort of a white elephant gag gift type of thing. And the other group we did this with, I didn't realize that they were doing, like, joke gifts, like stuff that something sitting on your shelf that you don't like, you throw it in a box and you give it to somebody else. And so I had bought the same nice gift for both parties. At the first party, I was all cool. I ended up with some sort of a 4-knife kit with razor knives or something. The other party, I go to it, and I was like looking at them open up these gifts, and I'm thinking, this is a joke kind of thing. Okay. Now, the catch is, again, if a gift gets stolen twice, you can keep it. And my number was, out of 23 people, I was like number 18. And somebody had opened up the gift that I got, and then somebody else stole it. And they were in the top 5 of the people. And it kept going on and kept these corny gifts and this stuff. I'm like, oh, man. So my turn came up. And nobody knows what everybody's brought, right? So my turn came up. I go looking around, and I walked over and I grabbed my gift. I was the second steal, and I got to keep it. Nobody knows it was the gift that I bought. But this is what it was. Harbor Freight had these lights for $20. These rechargeable 400 lumen lights. And, it's pretty bright. And I've said it before, I have a thing for lights. It does a blinking thing, SOS, whatever. And it also has like a kickstand. You can put it upside down and whatever. So I kind of cheated, but I got my light back because I didn't want the goofy stuff that everybody else was getting. Anyway, just thought that was kind of funny. Let's see. Okay, so Bob, I don't know what happened to Bob. Why did that go dark? That comment went dark on the side here. Robert says upper arms are different on the 67 and later. Okay, so that makes sense. Yeah, I was thinking about the, just the structure. But yeah, I get it. So thank you for that. And Robert also says they have a 10% off sale right now on their site. And he posted a link, classicperformance.com. So 10%. Thank you, Robert. Jeff, JK66 Mustang, you can also look into the Global West front suspension kit. The kit similarly similarly gets rid of the strut rods and uses the mount point for the front of the lower control arm. Okay. Oh, that would be a whole different layout. But yeah, okay. I'll have to look that one up. Thank you, Jeff. Harvey, I saw Robert's video on the new suspension kit. Very nice looking setup. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I shared that on the Joe Daddy Facebook page as well, so everybody could see what that kit was about. Ray Buckman, great thing about that kit is you can remove the shock towers and make room for a big block or even the 5.0 motor from the newer Mustang. I don't think that, not with this kit. I don't think so. Because these still mount in the shock towers. Unless you're talking about a different kit. Like a Mustang 2 suspension. In that case, yeah, I agree with that. And I think that other one is the way it has to be. Doyle, Derek at Vice Grip Garage is in Lewisburg, Tennessee, which is not far from you, for the other YouTube collaborations. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. Robert Global West makes very nice stuff, but it's overkill for me price-wise. Yeah, I get that. Nathan, can you tell me what Granada spindles are, better or not? Better or not? I don't know. I don't know enough about the Granada setup to say that they're better. I don't have enough information to share on that. Now, the kit that I put in for disc brake setup, I have videos on that on the Jade Mustang. I can't think of the name. The name escapes me at the moment. But I have videos on that kit, and it's nice because it mimics the original setup. Now, the Granada spindle kit, I know there's different things that people used to do that. They would pull the Granada kit off, and I don't know what you have to do that's different. I think there's something with the tie rod end that becomes a conflict. I can't remember the name of that kit that I bought. Anyway, I would probably go with one of those other kits rather than the Granada stuff. But there may be other people that have a different idea on that. But the Granada spindles, if you're not familiar, I know what you're asking there. The Granadas were made from, I don't even know what, 70, maybe 73 up until 79 or something. You never see them anymore. You never see them. They're gone. All those cars are gone. But I'm sure they still sell parts that are the same that fit that. But CSRP, I think, is the name of that. I think CSRP is who I had bought the spindle kit and the rotors and calipers from. I think that's right. Ray says, I didn't realize that. Yeah, talking about the suspension. Yeah, it would still have to use it still has to use the shock tower. Yeah. Let's see. Charles. Hello, I have a 69 Mustang Fastback project it has a 351 Windsor C4. I live in Fayetteville, Georgia. Would you be interested in buying? 6,500, thanks. Maybe. Can you send me pictures? Here is at the bottom of the screen. Joe Daddy's Garage at gmail.com. Send me pictures. I would like to see what you have. Yeah. Because you're really right, probably in my back neighborhood. Send me pictures, Charles. Or Chuck, sorry. Send me pictures. I'm interested. Let's see. Simone. Nightberry, sorry I couldn't stay too long. That's all right. Glad you're here, Simone. Have a Merry Christmas. Dave, I once got caught in the exact same gag gift trap. Yeah. I didn't want none of that. Yep, CSRP. I believe that was the correct. I knew I could come up with it, but thank you, Robert. Appreciate that. Leonard says the Granada was made 75 to 80. And you never, ever, ever see a Granada anymore. Never. Harvey, you can use V8 drum spindles and do a very nice conversion with factory 65K code parts. Harvey, have you done a video on that yet? Because we were talking about this a couple weeks ago. That Harvey had modified his car using a variety of pieces and parts. So I don't know if he has a video on that or not. I'm hoping he's come up with something. But you might want to check out Rally Cat Garage as well to see if there's something there that can help you with. Let's see. Robert, we had an 82 Granada wagon that we brought back from Hawaii and drove from California to Texas. That was a long drive at 55 miles per hour back then. Haven't seen another one since. A Granada wagon? Wow. Yeah, that would be quite the oddity to even. I can't remember the last time I saw a Granada. It's kind of like Dodge Aspen. When was the last time you saw an Aspen? You know, the old, not the new thing. I'm talking about the 70s, 80s, whatever it was, Aspen. Because I think we did I think at the junkyard we built, I don't say it was an Aspen station wagon that we put on a 4-wheel drive chassis for somebody. It was pretty cool. Ray says goodnight to Simone. Yep. Harvey, we'll have a video up soon. Yep. Yeah, I'm going to have 2 videos coming up. 2 videos I'm trying to get up. Probably the first one, I did a video on that car cover that I bought for Jade. So, yeah, I did a video on that. And then I did a video on with Roger helping me disassemble this Bronco. So that's going to be a couple videos I want to try to get up before the week is out. Nathan, could you tell me if there is a rack and pinion that works well with 65 Mustang factory suspension? That I don't know, because the rack and pinion needs somewhere to mount. And the difficulty is there's nothing to mount to underneath those cars unless you add some structure there. So the rack and pinion has to be mounted to something. So I don't know what's available that has, what works with what we have, but it's got to be pretty solid. Doyle, Ford Elite was another odd model. Yeah, Elite. Ah, you lost me there. I don't even know what that was. Is that along the lines of the Fairmont? Yeah, what was it? They had the Ford Fairmont and the Mercury. Oh, they had a Mercury version too. I don't remember what that was. Ford Elite, yeah. Rick, when I was a kid, we had a 75 Ford Granada. Spent a lot of time in the back seat of that car. Yep. Robert, there are several rack and pinion kits. None are affordable for what they are. In my opinion, CPP has one, as does Flaming River, among others. So there's some information for you. And Robert says most have big brackets, and the good ones work backwards from how they usually are. They're goofy looking, but they work. Leonard says first year was, I don't know what that, Grand R? I don't know what you're trying to say there, Leonard. Shane, my brother had a Ford Elite for a while. I don't even remember what that would be. Michael, RRS makes a really nice rack kit, but not cheap at all. Yeah. Unfortunately. I got to come back up here. Where did that comment go? I lost it. Okay. I'm going to highlight this again. Chuck, send me an email. Send me an email. I would like to see what you have. Okay? If you're still listening, send me an email. joedaddysgarage@gmail.com. Yep. By all means. Okay. Let me come back down here. First year was I don't know what that. What are you saying, Leonard? First year was Grand R. Was there like a another name? Bob Shoemaker, Mercury Zyper. That's close. I know what you were trying to type. Mercury Zephyr. Yeah, Ray got that. You're both right. I'll give you Zyper. That's pretty close. Oh, here we go. Leonard says first year was a Gran Torino Elite in 74, then just Elite till 76. So it was basically a Gran Torino. And then the Elite was, okay, that's interesting. I would not have known that one. So, Realtar says Mercury Marquis. Yeah, the Grand Marquis, that was the same as the Lincoln Town Car. The Zephyr was the same as the Fairmont. Yeah. Rick. I see Rack. I said Rick. Robert. Kit start around 1600 and go up over 3K. I plan on the stock quick ratio box and maybe put in electric power steering. Yeah. That would work. That would definitely work. Okay. Chuck's got me thinking about the 69 fastback. Send me an email. Let's see. Dave Conville, Ford Fairmont and Mercury Zephyr, an insult to the Zephyr badge. Yeah, the Zephyr back in the long time ago was a whole different vehicle. You're right. And New River, Mercury Monarch comes to mind. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, there was a lot of ones. I mean, thinking about it, like I said, I had mentioned the Dodge Aspen, whatever, or maybe it was I don't know. I guess it was Dodge. What else did they have? They had the. I can't even think of what, because you look at the stuff like the old Chargers and satellites and all that sort of thing, but then they branched into some oddball stuff as well. Oh, speaking of, and I know it's not worth a dime. To me, it's not worth a dime. But I saw on Facebook Marketplace, somebody was selling one of the Dodge Daytona turbos. He said that it belonged to his dad or something. His dad passed away, and he was just selling it. And as he's talking about, he's showing the pictures of it, and it looks like it's been just covered. It's like it's all filmy looking, but it looked complete. Now, there are people out there that are interested in those cars. It would have to be a running car, nice condition, but they're unique. But the thing is, he posted that. And he said there's also a Shelby version sitting there that he would sell both together possibly. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Now, granted, you don't want to invest in those things, in my opinion. You don't want to throw a bunch of money at those. But I would think there's people out there that are still into those things and looking for them, But anyway, just kind of threw me off to find or see one of those pop up. Rick says, Barry, did Chuck put a dent in your motorhome budget? Well, he might have. I'm waiting on an email. I need to get some contact. Oh, Volare. Leonard says yeah, it's Volare. Yeah, yeah, Volare with the rich Corinthian leather. Yeah, Volare. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm not singing. Steve says Brian B. U-Pole rep told me to epoxy the metal first. Okay. Well, I know they have adhesion promoter, so I don't know if that would take care of it as well. I hope so. Dave Conville, Grand Marquis was twin to the Crown Vic. Yes. Car Guy Troy, those Daytonas and a Shelby are coming up in value. Seems weird, but they are. Yeah, because they're just odd enough. I mean, they were. I can't say performance cars, but they tried putting wings on them and whatever. Um, yeah, I think I sent the guy a message. I think I did. Just curious about it. Shane, I love those Dodge Daytonas. You talking about the little ones, the little 4-cylinder turbo ones? Is that the one you're talking about? Crash Rider Dodge Aspen, same as Plymouth Volare. Yeah. There was another one though, Cordoba, the Chrysler Cordoba. Forgot about that one. Cordoba. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I got to show you. I'm not going to email this. I was at the U-Pull yard, and I sent Robert. I think I sent Robert a picture of this. Let me tell you, this little car right here brought back memories. You know what that is? You know what that is? That's a K car at the U-Pull yard. I couldn't believe it. My mom had one of those. It was It was a 2-door hardtop like that one, or 2-door coupe, whatever. And just looking at the interior, look at it. It's got bucket seats. I kind of felt bad for this thing, um, because I drove one of these for a while. It was the Dodge or 400 is what they called it. And these are the cars that saved Chrysler. Lee Iacocca made these cars, and I've seen people take these things and put a full chassis under them in a big block and go race them. I was really really shocked to see that thing sitting in there. It really brought back some fond memories of the K car that my mom had. So just saying. Car guy Cordoba Ricardo Montalban. Yeah, rich Corinthian leather, not fine. Rich Corinthian leather. Yes. Let's see. Dave says Plymouth Volare Dodge Aspen. Okay. Yep. Roger, I got to drive a Daytona Turbo in the National Collegiate Driving Championship Dodge sales gimmick to college kids. Fun-ish cars for the 80s. Yeah. Robert, I was hearing Ricardo Montalban doing that commercial. Yeah. Shane, yep, the 80s version, same with the Mitsubishi Starion. I never understood how you said that word. Starion. I never understood how it was supposed to be pronounced. But yeah. Dave, the Chrysler Cordoba had the rich Corinthian leather. Ricardo, yes. Wait a minute. Cargo Troy saw a K car convertible the other day. Was pretty sure it was the last one on Earth. Yeah, very possible. Shopcat Industries. Chevettes are coming up in value too. Yeah, if you can find them. Okay, so what am I missing here? That's a 69 Stang. Okay. Then my mind is... Hold on a minute. My mind... Because I can tell you there's somebody else. Gary. Sorry, Gary. There's somebody else who has an almost identical tag that is Shane. There's it might be 68 Stang. Seriously. I don't know if he's on here or not. So that's why I was saying that, because my mind just defaulted to that. So now I got to try to remember that too. I think I do pretty good remembering who people are for the most part. But anyway, sorry about that. New River, the Lincoln Versailles was built of the Granada platform. Okay, did not know that. Rick, my grandfather got rear-ended and totaled his 76 Pontiac Ventura. He replaced it with a 1981 Dodge Aries K car. Yep. I mean, the one we had drove nice. It really did. Mr. Mike Howdy got here late. 80 T-Bird was one of those disappearing cars. Still had a 302 with AOD. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you just don't see those very much anymore. Oh, wow. Okay. So Harvey sent me a picture. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. See if it'll open. He was saying that let me see if this will work. The Ford Elite is a fancy Torino. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yep, fancy Torino makes sense. Leonard, look what they've done to my car. Yeah. Bad Harry checking in. Hey, Barry, just had some time to drop in and say Merry Christmas to all and all the best in the new year. I'm working hard at the 6.7 build and should be painted by the end of the year. Awesome. Awesome. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you as well, Bad Harry. Bob Shoemaker had a 77 Cordoba, 400 lean burn troublemaker. Yeah. And Gary says no worries. Okay, yeah, I'm serious. There's another one on here that's almost the same thing. Dave Conville, girlfriend in high school had a crap brown Dodge 600 Turbo. Would have been quite a sleeper if it ever got traction. I'll bet. Crap brown. I think I've seen that. Those are really, really memorable colors. Ray Buckman, a lot of the 80s cars have almost disappeared. You are right about that. Yeah, they have. I guess, unfortunately. Car Guy Troy, the Lincoln Versailles has a 9-inch rear end. Is the same with the 6.7 Mustang. Has factory disc brakes, but is super heavy. Not a bad swap, though, if you can find one. That's the hard part. Leonard, it was a rebadged Mercury Cougar. So talking about the Elite. Okay. And Robert, even here in Texas, there are very few 80s cars around anymore. Yep. Yeah, I mean, they're just drying up. People don't care and just passing them on. Okay. It's been a good night. We've been going at this an hour and a half. I need to get in the house, stretch my back out, and get something to eat. So I want to just say to everybody again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Of course, that'll be next 2 weeks. But I do plan to be here next Monday. I plan to be here and continue on, and we can talk about stuff we got for Christmas. Yay! Roger says I have an '84 Z28. Yeah, that's true. He does. I don't think I have anything in the '80s anymore. No. Nope. Okay. So anyway, we'll do this again next Monday night, 7:00. Glad you're all here. But that's it for tonight. So until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.